Hello. Now, why did my coming on make the music go faster? And there's an echo. Excuse me. Now there shouldn't be an echo. But are you hearing the change in the music modulation? Strange, right? Hi. That's all right. No echo, no music change for you. That's okay. It's not even the music I wanted to play for you anyway. This is the one I want to play for you. Hope you can hear it.
Mystery is made possible by a grant from Mobile Corporation.
In this just more stuff. Hey everybody, welcome to the Judge John Hodgman live stream. My name is John Hodgman. It is the Max Fun Drive live stream specifically. You can see over left shoulder. I'm trying to point. There we go. That's the logo for Max Fun Drive 2024, the 2 weeks out of the year, when we come to you, our listeners, and say, hey, thank you for supporting us, and would you consider supporting us again by joining or upgrading your membership at MaximumFun.org/join. You no longer need to stand by, obviously, but you should probably have that information there at your scrolling Chiron tips. It's the hashtag MaxFunDrive, and that means MaximumFun.org/join. That's a place for you to go if you like Judge John Hodgman, or feel neutral about it but don't mind me. Then please don't mind me. Go and become a member of Maximum Fun. It starts at just $5 a month, and those monthly memberships allow us to set our budget for the year and allow us to budget for not only keeping the show going, but also investing in things like this YouTube channel that I'm broadcasting to, among other streams at the moment, the Judge John Hodgman Pod YouTube channel, where we are now posting all of the shows, all of the episodes in video format. You can watch me and Jesse and the litigants break it down and have a good time and break each other up. And that's all down to Daniel Spear, our video editor, who we were able to hire with your support, as well as the editor, AJ McKeon, our new social media manager, Natty Lopez, and of course, our wonderful producer, Jennifer Marmer. That's the JJHO team. That's a lot more people than you might have thought were there, when usually it's just me and Jesse hogging the mic. And that's all possible thanks to you, our contributing members. Over the years, Judge John Hodgman has been both a creative and financial lifeline to me. I've drawn great pleasure in providing distraction to you, and you have rewarded me with incredible stories, trust, arguments, background. You may see here that this copy of The Deranged Cousins, add to stage please, thank you, is being held aloft by the action figure of our friend Perry Von Vicious, a professional Western Massachusetts professional Westerner. Amateur Westerner. I mean, anyone in the west of Massachusetts is an amateur Westerner at best. But Perry Von Vicious is definitely a professional wrestler. We'll reveal the top half of Perry if you didn't see the top half of Perry's action figure yesterday. Perry, of course, is also an avid 3D printer and therefore definitely an honorary member of the Max Fun community. He spent several months in Japan wrestling professionally. Recently has returned to Western Massachusetts. Just won the title for his affiliated promotion in Maine. He is now the champion professional wrestler of Maine within that promotion, and you can find everything you. I meant to mention this yesterday, and I apologized to Perry and now to you. Go to Perry Von Vicious, PerryVonVicius, aka the Human Monster Truck. Perry Von Vicious at Instagram, and Perry Von Vicious on YouTube, and get all the links to everything that Perry is up to. Right now, Perry's avatar, 3D printed avatar, is holding up this copy of The Deranged Cousins by Edward Gorey. Edward Gorey, of course, let me undo this, remove from stage. There we go. Edward Gorey, of course, is one of my very favorite creative people of all time, an author and illustrator who created that opening sequence for the PBS show Mystery, but also wrote dozens and dozens and dozens of illustrated books. Won a Tony Award for his appropriately gothic stage set for the 1970s Broadway production of Dracula. And it has had an incredible beard. Let me just show you some pictures of Edward Gorey here for a second. Let me see if I can get some pictures of Edward Gorey up in here. Edward Gorey. I've talked about him quite a bit on the podcast, and in 2024, this has been basically the year of Gorey for me. I'm really getting back into Edward Gorey. Open image in new tab, please. Not big enough. Sorry about this. I should have had this prepared, but these things happen. Let's see. Here we go. Open image in new tab. That's a good one. Let me share that with you. So many ways to share. So many ways to share. There you go. You're seeing him seated on his set for Dracula there. I believe this was 1977. He had started out as a book jacket designer and illustrator for Doubleday. He did a lot of illustrations for young adult books, including Jonathan Bellaire's The House with the Clock in Its Walls. And then he probably became most famous for these series of initially small-run chapbooks that he created for Gotham Book Mart and the Fantod Press, which was his own publishing house. Most notably, the Gashly Crumb-Teenies. Let me see if I can get that up for you. Yeah, this one. The Gashly Crumb-Teenies, a very gory alphabet. And it started with, tells the tales of 26 children in 13 rhyming dactylic couplets and how they died. And if you don't know this book, 1963 it came out. It's truly a wonderful story of the macabre. Let's see if we can get an image. Here, this is from the Gory Store. Open image in new tab. This is too small to see them all, but I think this is A is for Alice, who fell down the stairs. B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. C is for, and then it goes on and on. It's really wonderful. We'll stop that sharing now because I'm trying to share with you. Anyway, Edward Gorey's been much on my mind as someone of true creative, sui generis genius and personal style and integrity. The photo I showed of you, I mean, what a handsome dude this guy was. And just absolutely was himself at every moment. And at a certain time in his life, although I believe he was from Chicago originally, he had gone to an unnamed university in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which I'll not talk about, and ended up living in a little cottage in Cape Cod and rarely left, which is something that's very appealing to me. not coastal New England and disappearing into it is something that's very much on my mind. Anyway, I put this up here because if we have not already, perhaps during this hour, we will reach 3,000 new and upgrading members during this Max Fun Drive. And if we have not already reached it, maybe we already have. I'll check in a moment. If we reach it during this hour, oh, there's Perry Von Vicious in the chat. Hey, Perry. Yeah. If I reach it during this hour, I will read this particular book to you called The Deranged Cousins. It's really one of my favorites for a number of reasons. And I'll explain to you why if we get there. So let's take a look and see where we're at. I'm going to check well, won't you look at this? Let's see. We were at 2,998. 2,998. Wow. You can see it up there in the corner, 2,998. So we're almost there. So if you have not yet gone to this page, MaximumFun.org/join, now would be a terrific time to do it. Because if we hit that 3,000 mark, then I'm going to read this book to you. And you're going to enjoy it. Now, yesterday we did some karaoke, and I had to take it down in anticipation of legal action. This again is copyright infringement theater with Judge John Hodgman, and I just hope that the Edward Gorey estate understands that I am a true fan, and I only share this because of great love. And I'm only sharing it for a good cause, which I believe is a good cause, because we're all here in support of not only the Judge John Hodgman podcast, but all of the podcasts that are produced by the Maximum Fun Network. And to remind you, all of these podcasts are creator owned. In our case, Jesse and I own the Judge John Hodgman podcast. The IP is ours, as I'm not the boss, but as Maximum Fun allows all of its creators to own their own intellectual property, all of those podcasts that you love, be it old favorites like The Flophouse or new favorites like Valley Heat, are owned by their creators, which is pretty special. And now, as you may know, Maximum Fun itself is employee owned. It's an employee owned cooperative. And on top of all of that goodness, it is primarily listener supported. 70% of our operating budget as a network and as individual shows is raised during 2 weeks of the year. This one, the Max Fun Drive, #MaxFunDrive. And, it's a chance, if you're not a member, if you listen to Judge John Hodgman or any of the shows, and you're able to support us, is a chance to directly support a thing you love, which is pretty good. Larix Larkina says, book reading, Laricina perhaps, is generally accepted on Twitch, which is one of the channels we're going out over today. They haven't encountered any issues yet. Let's see, who else do we have here in the good old chat? I mentioned Perry Von Vicious. Just noticed Perry Von Vicious is in the chat, watching on Twitch. Hey, Perry, good to see you again. Yep, we're going to reveal your top half of that if we get to that 3,000 mark. Let's see we'll see if we're there in a second. And Memphis Otan, whatever. I had no idea Edward Gorey looked so much like my Uncle Pete. Maybe tomorrow I'll just do a Gorey slideshow for about an hour. Holy moly, what a snack that guy was. Do donated memberships count? This is a great question from Kate in Salt Lake City. Wow, thanks, Kate. I'm donating one for every live stream I watch this drive. And that's terrific because, thank you, Kate, for making that pledge. I will be doing live streams, I think, every weekday this drive. And this is day 3. So there are 7 more to come. And I'm glad to tell you, Kate, that yes, if you go, as you can perhaps see on this website, you can gift a membership. I'll click there. And maybe there's someone in your life who can't afford to join, but they're big Max Fun listeners. If you gift them a membership starting at just $5 a month or more, if you can, but just at $5 a month, not only are you giving them the, I hope, satisfaction of supporting a thing that they like, but also they get all the bonus content. We have a bonus episode right now that's available to members, brand new. It's kinding them with kindness too. Look who's kinding now. It's my second big conversation with the incredible actor Richard Kind, who is never entered a room unless he's in mid-anecdote. And it's a great conversation. And we have a lot of fun talking about movies and television and Richard Kind's career, which is bananas. And also, if we reach a goal, and I can't remember what we said, I think if we reach the 5,000 new and upgrading member goals by Friday, we'll release another bonus episode, which is a supercut of all of my Tom Waits impersonations on the podcast. So there you go. If you ever do a search for John, we'll just keep this here. Ever do a search for John Hodgman and Edward Gorey, you'll see a 2018 tweet where I shared an old Mad Magazine tribute to Gorey, which is fun. Yes, I did share that, and I believe that I don't think he illustrated it, but I believe that was written by our friend and yours, Dan Telfer, an incredible comedic writer and performer, comedian they call him, who's you should search YouTube just for What's the Best Dinosaur. That's his bit, What's the Best Dinosaur. He also wrote that too. I believe that he wrote the Edward Gorey, the Ashley Crumtini's parody in Mad Magazine 2018. It was really funny, and I don't know whether he wrote it. Here we go. Boom. Upgrade complete. So that ought to count. Oh, look. It happened. Isn't this just like life? When you weren't looking, it happened. Look at us. 3,010. How about that? How about that? Well done, everybody. I honestly didn't know we were going to get there today. I wonder if we're going to get even higher. No, 3,010. Hey, that's all we need. Stop sharing already. Thank you, everybody. Jealous 1934. You may have been the one to tip it over. And I agree with you. Neleosaurus. Wow. And that's a thing. And Perry Von Vicious says woo. Okay. And I'm sorry to hear about your foot surgery, by the way. Kate, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for gifting all those memberships. And it's a wonderful gift. We'll not talk about that for a minute. I'm going to read this book to you. Now, here's the story of Edward Gorey. I first read this particular story. I believe it is he put out 3 anthologies of these smaller books that I believe are still in print. All these small books came out from a small press. Later, they were reprinted, and a lot of them are available now. I don't know if The Deranged Cousins is available in its own edition at this point. I first read it in the second anthology. So he came out with Amphigory, Amphigory, Amphigory 2, Too. I think he did that joke before anyone, sometime in the 70s, included The Deranged Cousins. And I remember it very distinctly, reading it as a weird only child. Edward Gorey, I don't believe was an only child, but he gave a lot of only child, if you know what I mean. Giving a lot of only child. And I had completely forgotten about it. I love Gorey. I always love Gorey, but I had kind of forgotten about this particular one till recently. I found on YouTube an interview, one of the rare on-camera interviews Edward Gorey gave. And in this case, to our friend, Dick Cavett, who, look, it's been my honor to know Dick Cavett a little bit, to have met him through the great comedian Dave Hill and do some projects with Dick Cavett. I love Dick Cavett so much. And yet it wasn't until earlier this year that I saw this YouTube interview, or, it was an interview from the Dick Cavett Show with Edward Gorey, that I learned that, of course, Dick Cavett loves Edward Gorey. It's a pretty good interview insofar as Dick Cavett actually allows Edward Gorey to speak a little bit. And it's hard to get Edward Gorey to speak. But it's especially good because Dick Cavett reads this book. I'm going to do my best, but I'm no Dick Cavett. Dick Cavett reading Edward Gorey is very special. I hope you go check that out on YouTube at some point. But the reason I'm reading this one is that the reason I have to keep doing this, the reason I'm reading this one, sorry, I got distracted there for a moment, I apologize, is that not long after I saw that YouTube video, I got alerted through the wonderful Instagram account, Edward Gorey Trust, which, okay, we're going live right now. It's looking good. The Edward Gorey Trust Instagram account pointed out that there was going to be an auction in Philadelphia. A couple who had collected a lot of early Edward Gorey stuff was selling their estate. And I saw that this first edition of The Deranged Cousins was available with 2 other books, which I will show you here. I wonder if they'll come out backwards. No, they won't. One is called The 11th Episode. And the third and final one, along with The Deranged Cousins, is called The Untitled Book. Maybe I'll read these to you another day. And they came, lot 58. They were originally sold from the Fantod Press in this envelope. I mean, this dude just loved beauty, right? I mean, come on. And the envelope says 3 books from the Fantod Press, The Deranged Cousins, The 11th Episode, and The Untitled Book. Let's see if you can see that. There. And as a holiday gift to myself, I bid on this, and I did not expect to get it, and yet I did. And I feel nervous touching these things. Jeffrey Liddell asks, hi, is this live? Yes, it's absolutely live. Hi, Jeffrey. So this is the book I'm going to read you, though, The Deranged Cousins. It's one of my favorites. It's not very long, and it's time to read it. So I am going to go ahead. And, oh, by the way, after I read it, we can have a little discussion about Edward Gorey, Max Fun, Judge John Hodgman, or anything you like. The way to invite yourself to join is right here. And I'm going to put that on a ticker. Put that on a ticker. Can I? No, I can't. I'll put it into the chat because I don't want it to disturb the image. So, but if you want to join the conversation, go to bit.ly/join JHO, all capital letters. Use Chrome on a laptop or an Android device, or Safari on an iPad or iPhone. And if you're using it on a phone, make sure you hit camera, go settings, and make sure that you're using the camera that you want. The front camera or the back camera. Okay? You can go ahead and join. You won't disturb me. You'll just jump into the waiting room. And maybe we can have a little convo after that. Okay, but I'm going to hide that now. I'm going to put this into solo mode. And I'm now going to read to you The Deranged Cousins by Edward Gorey. My microphone over here. You can still hear me, I trust. The fake Denise just upgraded their membership. Thank you for the streams. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Kate says, as always, these things were made to be used, touched, and enjoyed. I would feel really bad if I were to mess this up, this book. There's Perry Von Vicious. Let's see if I can do this at all well. The Deranged Cousins by Edward Gorey. The Deranged Cousins, or whatever. And you can see it's signed. Fantod Press, 1971. This book is as old as I am. This first edition of The Deranged Cousins is limited to 526 copies. 26 of these copies are lettered and signed by the author. Copyright 1969. Distributed by Gotham Book Mart. Don't go to this address. It's not there anymore. For Eleanor and Ski, A Souvenir of Labor Day 1965. "79 years ago, there were three cousins whose names were Rose Marshmary, Mary Rosemarsh, and Marsh Mary Rose. They lived in a house covered with roses on the edge of a marsh. Since they were orphans and there was nobody to stop them, they were often merry, far into the night. In the daytime, they picked up things left by the tide. One September afternoon, Rose and Mary quarreled over a bed slat. Mary struck Rose with a brown china doorknob she had already found and killed her. She had Marsh bury her in a field known as the Rabbit's Restroom. This incident caused her to become a religious maniac. Shortly thereafter, Marsh turned to drink. One April morning, he drank the dregs of a bottle of vanilla extract he discovered in the mud. They must have been contaminated, for he died in agony during the night. Mary conducted a funeral service by herself that lasted the whole day, and then buried him near Rose. The next winter, she was carried off by an unusually high tide. They never found her body. The end. Here's some other things you can buy. You can notice that, if you don't know, Edward Gorey would often use pseudonyms that were anagrams of his own name. So you have The Beastly Baby by Ogdred Weary, The Pious Infant by Regira Dowry, the 11th episode, which we have here, by Roderick Grew, and then he also went by Edward Pigg, the untitled book. So there you go. Or whatever. I hadn't even thought until this moment, and someone tipped me off in the chat, that of course this is the Max Fun Drive reading because of do you swear by God or whatever. Exit solo layout, remove from stage. There you go. The Deranged Cousins by Edward Gorey. Thank you for letting me share that with you. That was so fun. And obviously grim. That's why, you can imagine how this captured the imagination of young John Hodgman. Look at me. Of course, it can be captured the imagination. I'm going to look up another picture of Edward Gorey for a second here. Oh, look at this. Where do you see this, everybody? Wait till you see this. Wow. Share this with you, then we'll have a little conversation. Hang on, I'm going to add. Remember, if you'd like to join the conversation, it's open phones. Don't be weird, but it's open phones if you want to talk. I'll be doing this until about 1 o'clock. But I did want to share this with you. This is a photo called Gory at the Dance. Wow. Wow. I love it so much. Does that make it bigger? No, it doesn't. Gory at the Dance. I mean, what an icon. You know, another one, as DJ Khaled would say. What an icon. What a Don. What an amazing. Let me see if I can get you another. Oh, this is a great photo of him. This is one other really good one. I'll stop sharing this one, and I'll start sharing another one. Share screen. Hey, where is it? That's not it. Hang on, where is it? Nope. Oh, here. Open image in new tab. Sorry, everybody. There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. Thank you. There we go. Super Jumbo. This is called. Woo! Look at that. Look at Edward Gorey. I mean, he lived in New York City and he knew everyone. He knew everyone. And was just like walking around in this fur coat. This was probably in the middle of July. And he always wore sneakers. That's what those shoes are, you know. And I think it was Kate who said they looked like bird skulls in The Deranged Cousin. But someone else pointed out he loved Chuck Taylors. He absolutely did. Anyway, thank you for letting me share all that stuff. My name is John Hodgman, also known as Judge John Hodgman, the co-host of the podcast of that name, which is part of the Maximum Fun Network. And the Maximum Fun Network is a network of creator-owned podcasts like mine that is published and distributed by an employee-owned network, not like Maximum Fun. It is Maximum Fun. And this is the time to support Maximum Fun and the Judge John Hodgman podcast and all of the Max Fun podcasts. It's the Max Fun Drive, and I encourage you to go to MaximumFun.org/join to see if you would like to become a supporting member today. Right, Jennifer Marmer? Took you by surprise.
Right.
Took you by surprise.
On the old Instagram.
You're on that old Instagram. What were you looking up? What pictures were you looking at?
I was posting that you're live right now.
Oh, yeah. Great. I wonder how we're doing. So, we're at, the numbers are going up.
Yeah.
We're now at 3018. I bet those eight came from the people in this chat. In this
I
live
hope
stream.
so. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Hi, Irony Maiden. Hi, Laricina.
Yeah, Irony Maiden contributes quite a few titles to the show. Judge John Hodgman.
That's right.
Among others.
Title superstar there.
Yeah.
Mama's here. And Perry Von Vicious is back.
Yeah, Perry's back. Here's Perry.
Hi, Perry, twice.
And here's someone I don't know, or I'm not sure that I know. Chris, who are you?
Hello, I'm a listener. I listen to your show on Maximum Fun, and I listen to The Greatest Trek and Greatest Generation, and
thank you.
Just hanging out, watching the stream.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
And if you're a listener who'd like to say hello, these are the instructions.
I am in Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, you know, when we were in Lexington doing Judge John Hodgman in the fall, and many people came and said, "Why didn't you go to Louisville?" And they were like, "Chris is very upset." Did you know that?
I was. I thought about going to your show, but I couldn't make it work with babysitting.
Oh, you're a babysitter by trade?
Yes, I mean, I suppose so.
I can hear you just fine, but you're frozen. But it looks terrific.
Yeah, it's frozen on a really great laughing face.
Yeah.
Bye.
Don't worry about it, Chris. Can we hear you? Say something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
like
up with it.
Let's leave it like that.
Okay, it's a good picture.
Yeah, it's terrific. So you couldn't get childcare to come see us.
I could not get childcare. Correct.
We'll have to come back to
Understandable.
you. How do you say it? Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah, exactly. It's all the way in the back.
Lovable
We can
Kentucky.
tell out of towners by how they pronounce it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
I had a nice time in Lexington, but it was no Louisville. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I have a good idea of what you mean.
Do you know Bob and Felice Sachs?
No, I don't believe that I do.
Okay, they live in Louisville. They're the
Can
they're
you
the
imagine
parents
if
of
you
my
did?
of my very dear and old friend Adam Sachs, who's my first roommate in New York, and still a pal. And he's from Louisville.
It is kind of surprising that I don't. The town has a reputation as the biggest small city you'll ever meet or go to.
Oh.
I don't
Because-
think that's a reputation. I think that's a slogan that was test marketed by the Chamber of Commerce.
It probably was at some point.
Yeah.
But everyone's first question was always, what high school did you go to? And then you try and connect the dots.
Well, what high school did you go to?
I went to 2 high schools, in fact. I went to Atherton High School for my freshman year, and then I moved right across the river to Indiana and went to New Albany High School for the rest of my time in high school.
So you went across the river. You did high school across the river?
I did, yeah. It always shocks people.
Wow.
Did you get in trouble there in Louisville?
No, nothing that terrible. My dad remarried, and we moved into the bigger house, and her house happened to be across the river.
Oh, okay.
Did you have to take a raft to get there?
Yeah, good question.
That is an excellent question. I did not have to take a raft to get there. If I did need to take a boat, I would probably take the Belle of Louisville, which is our paddle wheel steamboat down on the waterfront.
Woot, woot.
That's the right call.
What happens on that steamboat? Is there gambling?
Only recently have they allowed gambling. They got their nonprofit gambling license recently, so they can gamble in the same way that some churches can put on bingo.
Oh, okay. Nonprofit.
It's not
right.
Yeah.
That sounds extremely legitimate.
Oh
It
yeah,
definitely
it
sounds
sure
like what's
does.
happening there.
like it.
But what can one do now? All right, now you can gamble, but prior to that,
What would you do on the boat?
Just have a mini
Usually yeah, you can. You absolutely can. They do mostly 3-hour cruises. They go up the river an hour and a half and then come back, something like that. So
You know, those 3-hour
It's fun.
cruises are bad news.
yeah, they are
Yeah,
absolutely.
3-hour
The
cruises.
tours, at least.
You're right. I take it
Well,
back.
see,
I take it back.
You just don't go on the tours,
Yeah, don't
and
go
you're
on the
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do there besides babysitting?
I'm a software engineer by day and a dad by night.
All right. Now, here's the big question. What's the big question? Oh, yeah. Are you a member of Maximum Fun?
Yes, I am. I have been a member of Maximum Fun for 4 or 5 years now.
That's great.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And,
I've been listening a long time.
thank you very much. And you mentioned some of the other great Max Fun podcasts, including Greatest Generation. Say what the other ones that you like.
Greatest Trek is another one that I listen to.
Yeah.
I've listened
tracks.
to many of them. Like I sample them in the summer when I'm out mowing the yard.
Yeah.
I will sample the other Maximum Fun podcasts. And I think my favorite was probably iPodicus. I loved that one.
Yeah. That was a Max Fun Drive special
Yeah.
that the Flophouse's Elliot Kalin and I did together after we hit a certain benchmark in the Max. Who's clicking?
Oh, that was me. Somebody called me out in chat for having a frozen screen.
Hey,
Can't let that stand.
hey, everyone in the chat. Chris is frozen
Relax.
right now. Just you take it easy. But Chris, I really
Give
love
him a rest.
I love your loud keyboard.
That's
Oh,
good.
well, thank you.
Yeah, give me
It's
give me
very
some-
clicky.
oh, there you go.
There we
Now you're
go.
back.
I'm
You're
back.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Give me some of that clicky keyboard music. Let me hear some.
Yes. Now let me undo everything that I just did.
I have to say, iPodius was also a real treat for me as a listener. It like when it came out, and it was I feel like it was supposed to be a members only thing, and then it was just too good to keep for members only, and it was released widely, if I remember correctly. And that time period was such a blur. But I would walk my dog and my son who was a baby at the time and just walk around our neighborhood when there wasn't much else that we could do. And that was it was a real delight, John.
Oh, thanks.
My husband and I would watch iPodius and talk about the podcast, and nostalgia is a toxic impulse, but that time was nice for me.
Just because nostalgia is, just because I say that nostalgia is a toxic impulse, that doesn't mean you can't enjoy things that, it's not like, oh, well, you should only read books that were written today.
No,
no,
of course.
You can read or listen and reread and re-listen to things. Like watching I, Claudius, which I've in this 1970s BBC miniseries about ancient Rome, like that is my sick day mainstay. If I'm not feeling good, initially that's what it was, and then it became something that I watched with our son when he was too young to see it, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Prompted a lot of conversations, and he saw a lot of great actors, so it's all fine. But no, like when I say toxic nostalgia is a toxic impulse, I'm primarily talking about political movements that are founded on nostalgia, not enjoying stuff that you like. Go for it.
Yeah. I wonder what age I'll try to watch it with my son, because when occasionally I let him snack in the living room and he'll kind of lie back on the couch and I'll say, I know you're eating in the living room, but please sit up. This isn't I, Claudius. And I wonder one day, will he say, what's I, Claudius?
Jennifer's making reference to the fact that in that show, it's set in turn of the common era to the before common era to the common era.
Yes.
So 2,000 years ago, people lay down when they ate. If you were eating a grape in ancient Rome, you were lying on a couch. That's just the way it happened. If you were in the royal family, that is.
Yes.
In any case, thank you for listening to that. Jordan Morris and I do a special podcast for the Max Fun Drive called Shooting the Breeze. It's an annual podcast about cheese.
Oh, yes. I listened to it last year.
And we've got a real hot one planned for this year. A real hot one.
I can't wait to listen to it.
Maybe I'm winking because I accidentally touched some Ghost Reaper Jack cheese and then rubbed my eye, and I'm in terrible pain, if you see what I mean.
I think I see.
Hot Shooting the Breeze coming up. We'll have more to say about that next week during the Max Fun Drive. But this is this week during the Max Fun Drive. Chris, thank you for joining us. There's no one in the waiting room, Chris. You're the only one who came in.
The only one that joined? You've had that text up for quite a while. I was like, surely I'm not the only one. There's got to be a dozen people lined up to chat with Judge John Hodgman.
Let me tell you something, Chris. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes people are watching at work, as some people in the chat have been saying, and they can't join. It is the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes people cannot figure out how to plug a plug into a plug, to quote a great Max Fun podcast, the Casper Hauser comedy podcast, because it's not easy. I'll be honest with you, StreamYard, it's not easy figuring out how to get into the waiting room. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You may be surprised to learn that there is at least one other work from home Caucasian person who might have a beard or a mustache who has
surprise.
Something coming in. It's Neilio.
Hi, y'all.
Hi,
Neilio. Do you know Chris?
I do not know Chris.
What are the odds of a Max Fun supporter / Judge John Hodgman listener to be two guys with glasses on the same day?
Wow.
All four of us have glasses right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, great representation, sadly.
It is what it is at the moment, and we're glad you're here. Neilio, where are you calling from?
From Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Minneapolis,
yeah,
Minnesota. We got to get back out
Casey
there.
Casey O'Brien?
Yeah. Sorry?
Do you know Casey O'Brien?
No, I do not. Sorry.
He's in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to find him.
I'm trying to think of who I know. Have you been to the Mall of America lately?
Gosh, last time was probably to go to the Lego store a few months ago.
Oh, so within the year.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's great.
It happens
Do
occasionally.
they still have the comedy club there?
I think that they had to. They might have closed it.
Yeah, I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
Now, well, anyway, that was.
It's hard to keep anything open there.
I know that, like, they built it at the dawn of the end of malls.
Right.
We did a show in St. Paul recently. Did you happen to be there?
I couldn't be there because I was
You're
out
also
of
a
country.
babysitter? Oh, where were you?
I was in Europe. I think at the time I was in Germany.
What were you doing there? Unless you were on secret assignment.
No, I took a Viking river cruise with my dad,
Oh,
which was actually a lot of fun.
Whoa.
and
Yeah, it
that's
was
one of
pretty good.
those cruises where you're on a small but luxurious narrow boat
Yeah,
that travels the rivers of Europe,
that's right.
and you stop at various ports and you plunder them like Vikings.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You came back with a lot of booty.
Right. In our ancestors' name.
Yeah. Where did you go?
So it started in Budapest and then went to Vienna and then into Germany, kind of through Bavaria, and ended in Amsterdam.
What did you think of the experience on board the Viking? What was the name of the ship, by the way?
So we actually had two ships. We had to transfer midway. So we
Why
started
did one
on
sink?
No, the river was actually too low.
Yeah,
So
I've been
we
saying
couldn't
that
pass
about some
certain
of
parts.
those German rivers for a long
Yeah.
time. Too low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were on the Modi and the Skirnir.
All right. Which one was better? Just say it.
They're actually sister ships, so they were identical.
All the more reason why one has to be better than
Why
the
did you
other.
have to switch? Oh,
Yeah.
because it couldn't pass. Sorry,
I think
never mind.
I might have preferred
I
the
answered
Modi
my
a
own
little more.
question.
You like the Modi a little more, and
Yeah.
you were with your dad. Did you and your dad share a cabin?
Yes, we did. Had a tiny stateroom.
And was that very cozy or what?
It was pretty cozy, and yeah, like had to kind of like duck a little bit to fit into the shower, and as you should on a boat.
And did you stay a lot of time in your cabin? Did you have a little balcony or no?
Yeah, we had it was a tiny balcony, of course, and but then we had like a sun deck that we could go and lounge on, and a lounge and a bar and all that stuff.
Were you the youngest person on this boat?
Easily.
Yeah.
apart from staff, yeah.
What was your favorite?
Oh,
What was your
wow.
favorite stop along the way?
Oh shoot, I really like Passau, Germany. That was actually a cool little town.
Never heard of it. You gotta convince me that it's real.
So it's right on the border of Austria. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. It's an interesting microclimate. Like
Sure.
yeah,
sure.
you can find
The vast cultural difference between
Right.
Germany and Austria.
yeah, one of their claims.
Hey,
to fame-
Austrians, don't at me.
See, one of their claims to fame is a giant glass museum with like
Oh,
Ooh.
30,000 pieces of glass to view. And we ran through there. It was pretty fun but overwhelming.
are you familiar with a British travel show called Travel Man
Yes.
with Richard Ayoade?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you ever see the episode where he basically travels to different, like, he does short holidays, weekend holidays all over Europe, and he usually takes another celebrity with him, or a British celebrity, or actor or presenter
Nice.
or whatever. And this time he went with Chris O'Dowd, his co-star from the show.
Perfect.
Fun.
They go to Vienna,
Oh,
and there is a scene in a snow globe museum and gift shop, because Vienna's bananas for snow globes.
yeah.
It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. I'm not going to
Nice.
spoil what happens in this thing.
I'll find
but
that.
It's incredible. So you should check that out.
Will do.
Thank you for traveling the world. Hey, we talked a lot about boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about river boats in the United States and river boats in Europe. Has anyone else in the chat? Excuse me, I burped. Has anyone else in the chat been on a riverboat? I'm going to be doing this until, let's say, 10 past 1. Okay, Paul G. Hammond says yes.
Well, that's on me.
Now, I'm pretty sure Paul, and Kate has done Viking river boats too.
Nice.
But
Kate also used to live on a boat, she says.
and Perry's only done it in Disneyland. That's true.
Oh,
I've been
yeah, me
on
too.
I've been on the Mark Twain riverboat in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite. Just sit there in the shade and watch it all go by.
It's great.
If anyone else has been on a riverboat and they are able to join from their desk at work or their home, the way to join before we go, and we won't be here for much longer, is bit.ly/join JHO. Use Chrome on a laptop or an Android. Look, you can read, I hope. But if you can't, use Chrome on a laptop or Android device and Safari on an iPad or iPhone. So, are you, Chris? Oh, that's Kate Littleton. Lived on a boat in Marina Del Rey. A weird husband choice. Well, you chose a weird husband, so that's the way it goes. Chris Jones is putting the link in the chat. Excellent.
Thanks, Chris.
I had it in my history, so.
What's that? Oh,
I had
Chris.
the link in my history, so I figured I'd share.
We just showed your last name too.
Really? Oh yeah, it's my YouTube channel. Yeah.
I was just on a boat called the Jonathan Colton Cruise.
Nice.
The Holland America cruise ship called New Amsterdam, and it was a wonderful time. And here's a couple of things. Has anyone ever been on a cruise?
Yeah.
River cruise.
Jennifer Marmer, where did you go cruising?
When I was a kid, we went on a cruise to Ensenada. When I was an adult, my grandmother took our family on a cruise to Alaska on another Holland America cruise ship.
Oh, I've never done an Alaska cruise.
It was great.
What I was going to observe is fun tip at the salad bar. You can have as many anchovies as you want, and they're never going to run out of them because I'm the only one who's eating them. I mean, I would get Spanish salads, and I would be like, more anchovies. Then they started to know me, and it's like, okay, they got an ice cream scoop. Just an ice cream scoop of anchovies. And I'm talking about densely packed, just punk. Oof, incredible.
That's great.
Hey,
That's
we got
great.
some more people. Maybe I didn't realize they've been waiting all along. So thanks for your patience. We're going to talk to everybody here. Chris, well, hang on. We're going to get as many people who have been on riverboats or cruise ships on screen as we can manage. So, Andy. Oh, wow. Are you on one right now? That sounded like a foghorn.
Sadly, no. My phone, of course, decided to ring the minute that I got on the live. So I'll take it off my desk and it'll be less foghorny. There we go.
Mephistoten is calling in from where?
That's me.
Why don't you go ahead and answer that?
Sorry. It's done.
I'll mute you. You can take the call. No one will read it.
It was scam. It was just a scam. It's fine. It's gone.
Mephistoten, have you ever been on a cruise ship or a riverboat?
I'm trying to remember. I have lived on or near the Mississippi most of my life, but I don't think I've ever actually been on a boat on the river. Lots of lakes.
Wow.
Lots of lakes. You've been on a boat.
I've been on like boats on the river, but I wouldn't call it a river boat. I haven't been on like a paddle boat.
You've never been, right. But have you ever been on a boat? Like, what kind of boat have you been on in a river?
I've been like on a power boat, on a pontoon, on
party boat.
Yeah, I have a friend who works on a barge that I have not set foot on, but I am excited by the
Jennifer
prospect.
Marmer, how I wish I could say to this world, I have a friend who works on a barge. Who's your barge friend?
His name is Torrent.
Like BitTorrent?
Kind of, yeah.
Like torrential rain?
Yep.
Yeah.
What kind of barge does he work on?
I believe it's a freight barge that they're just moving. I mean, we've got
freight.
Yeah, we've got semis going over the river and barges coming down. So
wow. But otherwise, you've just been hanging out on a pontoon party boat.
Just more for chill than transport.
And
I love it.
You say that you're on the Mississippi. Did you tell me where you are at?
I'm in Memphis, but actually I'm originally from Minnesota. So
another Mississippi state.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just went.
People don't think about it that way. If you're from New York, you don't know. Then when you stay in St. Paul, you're going to be overlooking the Mississippi River.
Just right there.
And your hotel is going to have a view of the Mississippi River. Memphis, we've never been to Memphis. I think we're thinking about going there in the fall. We're talking about going to Memphis in the fall.
Well, let me know, because I host events here. I host a concert series, so I can let me talk to Jesse a little bit about things. So
it's about time someone brought some live entertainment to Memphis, is my feeling.
That's, there was a dearth.
Yeah, that was a dearth. Okay, well, let's see. I guess you've been on a boat on the Mississippi River. Yes?
Yes, that
All
is
right, we're going to
correct.
say that you've been on a Mississippi River boat. Let's see about Ryan. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello there.
I'm going to move this banner because so I can see everybody properly. There we go.
I'm
Ryan,
filling out the roster of more middle-aged white guys with beards and glasses.
Yeah. I know my people. Ryan, where are you dialing in from?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City.
Site of a couple more rivers. The Missouri and Kansas River.
The Missouri and Kansas River. Kansas City, of course, famous for being up to date.
Everything is.
Have you been on a riverboat?
I've been on a riverboat on the Mississippi River, the Mark Twain experience, like you did. More recently,
I did it in Disneyland.
Oh, that's right.
I did it on the actual
Mark Twain turn.
You did it on the actual Mississippi. Okay.
Yes. More recently, I've been on the Neckar River, which is in Heidelberg, Germany.
Whoa!
It wasn't a riverboat; it was more of a cruise boat.
Did you see Neilio? You see Neilio's eyebrows go up on that one? Heidelberg. Heidelberg. I barely know Herg. Okay. And what was that all about?
Was visiting my son, who was studying there for the summer, singing opera in Heidelberg. And my wife and I went to Paris for our 25th wedding anniversary and ended the last couple of days of our vacation to go visit and see him in Germany. And it was fantastic.
That's so cool.
What was your favorite? How many anchovies could you get on your salad on your boat?
There weren't any anchovies there. I'm not sure. The answer is 0.
When
was
this?
Is what I would like. 2 years ago.
Well, I mean,
I
guess that was a little bit before the tinned fish trend caught on.
Yeah.
Jennifer Marm, are you into the tinned fish trend?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Okay.
I mean, some of it's a little too salty for me, but I like it in theory.
I got a beautiful can of mackerel that I'm going to eat tonight, I think.
Is it Fish Wife?
Here's Paul. Another. Mephistoton is the only person not wearing glasses, first of all.
Congratulations.
I literally put my contacts in before I got on camera.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
All right, Paul, where are you dialing in from?
I'm in Halifax.
Halifax, Nova Scotia?
Yep.
I love it up there. Have you ever been on a riverboat, or have you been on a boat in the Bay of Fundy?
Yes.
Have you been on a Fundy boat?
Yeah, and I was on a riverboat when I was a teenager in Germany on an exchange with like a bunch of other teens from Canada. And we were just like psychos, basically, just like let loose, no parents, try to learn how to gamble.
You ever read that book?
Classic ruckus causing.
Jennifer Marmer, you ever read that book, Canadian Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis?
Yeah.
It was the sequel.
Yeah.
People didn't know. Did you know that there was a movie called Basic Instinct 2 starring Sharon Stone?
That I did not know.
Yeah, it came out, no one cared. No one cared. Here's Meredith.
I mean, they really perfected it with the first one. Hi, Meredith.
Hey, Meredith, where are you dialing in from?
Oh. Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yes.
Charm City, the city that reads Crabtown, USA. Yes. Current home of guest bailiff Jean Grey for the moment there in Baltimore. You ever see Jean around?
I wish. No.
And there in the what's it called? The Center Harbor, Outer Harbor, what's it called?
Inner Harbor.
Inner Harbor. I got all the adjectives wrong.
I mean, kudos to knowing it.
And have you ever been on a riverboat or a cruise ship?
Yes, I was on a cruise ship last week.
Which one could it be?
The same one you were on.
The Jonathan Colton cruise?
Yes.
How was your cruise?
It was great, although I face planted on the last day of the cruise on the island. Now I have a massive bruise on my leg. Nothing's broken. Nothing's torn.
On our last port of call, we were on a beach called Half Moon Key. And what happened? Did you trip over a
brick, like a little teeny brick? I was just walking to get lunch and I tripped on some concrete.
Meredith.
I got It was interesting. I got to see the medical side of things on the cruise. They did X-rays, which I never knew you could get on a cruise ship, but they did them. It was an interesting experience. They were apologizing because the room was so small.
Now,
and
Meredith,
I was like, it's a cruise ship, and I'm 6 feet tall, so it's okay. Like, you're fine.
I'm glad you're okay.
You know that that Jonathan and I have known each other since we were 18 years old.
I've heard this.
A very close friend and collaborator.
Mm-hmm.
I love him very much, but would you like my advice?
Sure.
Sue the shit out of him.
Never.
Sue him.
Never.
This is your chance. You can clean up. It's going to be the Meredith cruise from now on.
Yeah.
Meredith, when you take over the cruise, will you invite me on? A, and B, will you double my anchovy ration?
Absolutely.
Couldn't decide whether to say ration or ration. So
ration is what I would say, but I'm from Baltimore. What do I know?
What was your favorite thing to eat on the Jonathan Colton cruise?
Fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
It's I'm not
a fruit eater, but it looked good. The fruit looked good.
It's always there. It's always available.
What fruit was in the fruit salad? Was it melon heavy?
There was a lot of melon, but I like melon equally. So
melon is kind of the chaff of the fruit salad.
Yeah, but sometimes there were pears in there. Sometimes, or apples actually. There were some apples sometimes. One day I got some papaya in there. That was neat. Like,
okay, that's nice.
It's just like it's a luxury to be able to have cut up prepared fruit any time of the day.
That's true.
I mean, there are a lot of other awesome things about JJHO cruise, but the fruit salad was.
I'd say fruit salad is top of the list.
It was pervasive, as long as in addition to nerds, you automatically know what you're talking about. You don't really have to explain too much.
We got one more person to add. Let's see it, because right now we got it very nice and even. We got 8. What happens if I add a 9th? Oh, it works. There's Kate. Yeah. Kate in Salt Lake City.
Hi, Kate.
Hey.
How are you? We needed to add one extra person without glasses to round this out a little bit.
Never had them.
Kate, you lived on a boat, you said, due to a weird husband choice.
Yeah, we got married. That was the first year we got married in Boston, and then we lived on a boat literally 3 months after that in Marina Del Rey. That was his first choice.
Jennifer, where's Marina Del Rey? That sounds like a California thing.
It is in California. It's in Southern California, right by LA.
It's the LA Marina.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry. And what kind of boat did you live on?
We lived on a Bayliner, and it was a motorboat. So it was like power boats. It was 3 floors, and we bought it specifically because it had a bathtub, and I refused to live on a boat. When he said, let's live on a boat, I said, only if there's a bathtub, and thinking that there won't be. And then he found one with a bathtub, and I was like, okay.
Tell me more about it. It's a Bayliner.
Pilot house. That's what it's called.
Say it again.
It's the Bayliner pilot house.
I'm going to take a look at this.
Yeah, we got to see this. And
T23, T25.
Oh God! I have nightmares about this boat still, but I don't remember.
Oh no!
We call them boat dreams. We both have them.
I would like to. I don't want to trigger your. It has to be an overnight boat. Yeah. Okay.
It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's like a house.
Yeah. Wow. I want to.
So it was 50 feet.
It was 50 feet. Okay. So these are too short, because the only ones I'm seeing on the Bayliner website are 29 feet.
No.
So
it's
maybe it was an older one.
Oh yeah, it was from the 80s, and it was named Gallifrey because we were such nerds.
Did you name it, or was that what it was called?
We named it, and we named the dinghy the TARDIS.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It looked like that. Whoa, there you go.
Wait.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. Whoa. Put it back up again. I missed it. Hang on. Keep it there.
Oh, wow. That's a beaut.
Nice. So why did this happen exactly? Did you explain?
He just, well, okay. As Jennifer would know, it's really hard to live somewhere in LA because it's very expensive. It's actually
very
cheaper to buy a boat and just pay for the whatever they called slip, and than it is to pay rent in LA. And the thing,
wow,
for like a 1 second little rant, that military housing in LA is in San Pedro.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Base. And the base is across from LAX, which means that if you can't afford to live near El Segundo, and the housing allowance for us at the time was $2,400, and we don't have kids, so think about that. You have to drive an hour and a half each way every day to get to housing. I think it's a huge injustice. It makes me really, really angry, actually.
I would be angry.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, we can afford, when we get stationed there now, we can afford it, but we're much older. I mean, he's about to pin colonel, and he's basically at the end of his career. And like, it's crazy what people who are in the lower ranks have to do in order to live with their families there. But really, sorry, that was a separate rant.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to find a picture of I want to get a deck plan of the 50-foot bayliner.
Yeah. It was so much cheaper than anything else you could do in LA. And then we could sell the boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you live on the boat primarily in the marina, or did you ever take it out and zoom around in it?
So we took
any 3-hour tours.
We took it to Catalina a lot.
Oh, nice.
You got to take it to Catalina though.
But
that's awesome.
We couldn't go to Mexico on it. It wasn't like they didn't allow that. And then like his job didn't allow that. And then it was also kind of like the first boat he ever drove, but all of our things were on it. So if you have like a 16-year-old who just got their driving license, driving your house around, you know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. Your husband was
Terrifying.
16 years old when you married?
No, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
But we're boat people. We go on a lot of cruises. We like boats.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
Good. We're going on
Did you know that in oh no, go ahead, Kate. Yes.
I was just going to say we're going to Alaska. We're taking an Alaska cruise for my 40th.
I thought you were going to say Maine. Never mind. Then I don't care.
No,
go ahead,
we're gonna.
No. It's fine. Jennifer, go ahead.
In Southern California, if it's
I thought
your
you were going to talk about Maine. I'm sorry, Jennifer. We need to move on.
If it's your birthday and you live you're in Southern California, you can take the ferry to Catalina Island for free if you don't live on a houseboat and drive yourself there.
Can I tell you something? In Disneyland, if it's your birthday, you can ride the Mark Twain riverboat and toot the horn in the pilot house. That's awesome. That's a little thing. And guess what? I don't think they check your ID or anything. You just say, it's my birthday. Toot, toot. I mean, but it's better than that. Oops, someone dropped out. I guess someone had to move along. I understand. Actually, we're getting towards the end here because I got to go. But let me say, is there any last words? Any things that anybody want to raise their hand and say something before I kick them out?
Yeah,
Emilio, go for it.
I gotta thank you for naming my mullet a few months ago. This is Squallow Primetime.
Oh, really? Oh, that's you. Oh, yeah.
That's me.
What was the dispute again?
Oh, that was the naming disputes. And so I asked you to name my mullet because my barber asked me if it had a name.
And say it again because I couldn't quite hear you when you were...
Squallow Primetime.
Squallow Primetime. Let's see that beautiful mullet. Hang on, I'm going to put you in solo layout. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Got some luggage back there.
Squallow mullet, we love you. You got to go. All right. Sorry about that. Exit solo layout. Who else wants to be kicked out? All right, Paul Hammond. What's your parting words?
I'm curious. I have a question about the dog that was found recently, and if it actually got named to Bean Dip, which was my suggestion.
Jennifer Marmer, help me.
Jennifer will know, but.
Yeah, that dog, is that the dog that KT found? That little
I think so, the little tiny guy, yeah.
Because there were 2 dogs that were found. There was one that CN found up in Seattle, I want to say. And then KT found another dog that Kira has been fostering.
Okay.
And I can't remember which one we were trying to name, but...
It was the little black one, like scrappy black one, very small.
That's the one, yes, that's the one that Kira is fostering. And I don't think it's
okay. But Paul, you're suggesting the dog's name should be Bean Dip?
Yeah.
So ordered.
That's what was. Yeah. It was one of the That's a great popular choices on Twitter.
It's better than 7-layer dip.
I felt pretty proud of it.
all the way.
Better than
guacamole.
That was your suggestion, Paul?
That was my suggestion. Yeah.
I loved it. I do believe that this dog is currently being called Fidget.
That's pretty
good.
That's
good. That's
bean
wrong.
dip in my heart, though.
Bean dip is bean dip. Tell him it's bean dip.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'll tell the dog.
You know what? It's even better than, and this one goes out to Meredith. It's even better than crab dip. Crab dip. Baltimore crab dip. Thank you, Paul. Have fun up there in Halifax. I hope that we can get up there sometime soon.
Yes, please
Love
do.
that city. All right. Well, hang on. Chris, you've been here for a whole long time, so let's get you out of here.
Yeah, that sounds good. I was supposed to join a meeting 14 minutes ago.
All right. Good luck. All right. There we go. Next. Ryan, you got any meetings you got to go to?
No meetings, but one recommendation: the new Max Fun podcast, free with ads. It is, it's absolutely hilarious and delightful. Yes. I was proud to add it to the list of podcasts that my paid membership supports just a couple days ago, and they're awesome.
What does being a Max Fun member mean to you, Ryan?
It's you are my light. You are my respite.
Too much.
You are
too much. Too intense.
No,
too intense.
Just enough.
No, just say it's great. It's great to support a thing I love directly by going to MaximumFun.org/join. I can say it too.
That's what he said.
I do. I am a listener member. I support a bunch of different podcasts. And the thing about it is, if you don't know, and thank you very much, Ryan. Boy, that guy was getting very intimate very quickly. The nice thing about it is that when you go to MaximumFun.org/join, you get to pick the podcast that you support, and it can be one that you love particularly, or it could be many of them. Your money gets divided among them, and a little bit goes to Overhead Max Fun. Looks like Kate. Kate, how are you feeling, by the way? Weren't you having some physical ailment, something hurting in your foot or something?
Oh, my bone died.
Your bone died. I don't want to know what that is. I shouldn't have even brought it up. It's none of my business. It's your body, your choice.
Fixed now. I just can't drive or walk. Well, I can walk a little bit now, but with the boot.
I can see Austin in the waiting room. I know that Perry was down there too. We're actually going to have to wrap this up. Austin, thank you for waiting around. We'll just say hi to Austin real quick. Hi, Austin. I'll be doing this at noon tomorrow and the next day and all next week, so I hope you'll come back and say hello because I got to go. Kate, you got to go. I'm sorry. Go bring your bone to life.
Just Andy is fine.
Memphis Sotan. It's really hard. What does it mean?
Well, because I have been in Memphis for 25 years, but I'm a native Minnesotan, so it is a combo of those things.
Excellent. Well, have fun there on the old Mississippi.
Thank you. I will cross over, get your pets.
Oh, hey, who's that?
That's Emmy Lou.
That's right, Emmy Lou. I remember meeting Emmy Lou before. Nice to see you again. We'll do a proper Get Your Pets during this time as well.
Sure.
Okay. So hang out there. Well, that just leaves you and me, Jennifer Marmer. Sorry to those who are trying to get in. And also, you didn't get to ask Kate about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
I did in the chat. Don't worry.
What? Give me some.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know anything.
Okay.
She doesn't know them. She didn't even know they were there.
Right.
They're not all blonde Mormons.
Is that one that I should watch?
Mormons are dark haired. This last season was pretty explosive.
All right. Because I came in, Paul and Janie tried to bring me into Vanderpump Rules post Scandoval, and I just it wasn't for me.
And this is what I worry about is you're going to come in post Monica being outed as whatever the Instagram account was that was gossiping about the Real Housewives. I can't remember right now. It was if you've seen online the meme where somebody's going receipts timeline da. That's from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and that was
never saw that meme, but that was the one.
Okay.
That was no. I'm sorry.
No.
There's just too much to watch.
There's too much.
That's why we should all stop watching. Start listening to Maximum Fun podcasts because we have a lot of new ones, including Free with Ads, which Ryan who mentioned it? Valley Heat. What are some of the other new ones? I mean, they're just one of the things that we were talking about.
Your Evangelist is another new one. And all of these ones. I was just listening to Valley Heat this morning. Immediately,
hot show.
I love it. I can't. I don't want to ever stop listening to it.
No, it's terrific. I mean, and one of the great things about we were just talking about this yesterday, is, like a lot of podcast companies are cutting shows, canceling shows. They were bought, shows and networks were bought by people with venture capital money. They're not seeing the returns they wanted because they're not realistic. And a lot of podcasters are out of work. But meanwhile, thanks to the support of the Maximum Fun members, Maximum Fun is not only surviving, but thriving, adding new shows from people who are not represented on any other podcast network, believe me.
That's right. I think one of the things that I love about the shows on Maximum Fun is that, we don't need
here comes Kate. Kate doesn't know a thing about Salt Lake City Real Housewives, but Kate knows all the new podcasts on Maximum Fun.
That's right.
They're all great.
Black People Love Paramore, secretly incredibly fascinating. Secret Histories of Nerd Mysteries, Sound Heap. Kate's really listening. And what I was saying, what I love about Maximum Fun is that we're not trying to capitalize on like a big celebrity to drive like tons and tons of listeners. We're giving these smaller shows with people that you haven't heard before. We're giving them space to bring their work to our audience. And John's right. You wouldn't be hearing these folks if not for Maximum Fun and if not for our members. So thank you all for
what
making it
Max
possible
Fun Pod
to
would
share
you
all
say
this.
has the most bird related content though?
The most bird related content?
Yeah. I want it to be Judge John Hodgman, but I don't think we talk enough about birds.
Yeah. Maybe
all
that's
right, here's
something
my
that we can
promise
add
to
to the
you.
docket.
Here's that promise to you. I tailor you, or if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, that's a good point. Kate says if you like owls, on rack. Oh no, Ross and Carrie. There's a lot of owl
That's
talk.
right. That's
But
right.
That's true. But I'll tell you what. I am making this pledge. If you pledge to MaximumFun.org/join today, I will pledge to you. I will mention a bird in every podcast going forward this year.
Whoa.
I will find a way to mention a bird. And that will be a secret
This
message.
is going to be fun.
That'll be a secret message between me and everyone watching this live stream. They're going to know. It's like, why did he just say warbler for no reason? That's the reason. Grosbeak. Well, let's say things. Heron. Kingfisher. Some other good birds.
Canary.
Titmouse.
Oh,
Cardinal.
that's a good one.
Oh, it's almost time for the cardinals to start coming back to the garden behind my... All right. Well, look, I'm going to start looking for birds out my window. Thank you, everyone, for paying attention. Tomorrow, I will return at noon, and I don't know what we'll be getting up to tomorrow, Jennifer Marmer. Right now, if I'm not mistaken, you might be able to go find on the Max Fun HQ YouTube channel, Jesse and Jordan doing a live Jordan Jesse Go right now. So if you're not tired of watching streams yet, go on over there. That's continuing now. I'll be back tomorrow. MaximumFun.org/join is there with us every day. And holy guacamole, holy bean dip, as they say. We're now at, we started this live stream under 3,000. We're now about at getting up to 3,100. And I thank every one of you. So thank you very much. MaximumFun.org/join, if you please. Spread the word. And if you've got time, we'll see you here tomorrow. Bye, Jennifer Marmer.
Bye.
Remove from stage. And now I shall remove myself from stage, and I'll read those other gory books in the future. Bye.